All right, everybody. Today we're going to spend a little time in the Shoreline Resort. This guide is geared to people that aren't afraid of a little PvP. That you will absolutely get in PvP here. It's almost guaranteed, regardless of day or night. It's just the difference between day and night is the number of people that are in the groups. Typically speaking, if you run day, you're going to get some sweaty lobbies, man. I typically maybe one out of every 3 raids you'll run into a 3 or 4 man pretty regularly through the day. Night tends to be a little bit smaller team size, so you run into lots of duos going through there. So just things to know. Both are busy. You're going to get into firefights, so if you don't like PvP, I'd recommend checking out maybe like my Shoreline cache guide or something like that if you need to do something on Shoreline and a way to make money. Something to look into. But with all of that said, if you like the PvP, let's just jump into a Shoreline guide here, you guys. I hope you enjoy it. All right, everybody. The next thing I'd like to talk to you guys about is the keys that we're going to use inside of the resort itself. We come down here. These are the keys that I personally use. They are color coordinated with a few exceptions. Exceptions being these keys that look like this right here. At which point they still say east or west or whatever on there to help you identify which are which. So we can actually remove that because it's a duplicate. But as we're looking at these here, pink is going to resort or reference the west side of the resort. So if you're standing at the helicopter and you're looking at the resort, it's going to be to your left. So the left side there is going to be west wing. Right side is going to be blue, which is the east wing side. And then if you keep looking down the path there from the rear of the helicopter, under the big sky bridge that goes across there, you'll see the admin building straight ahead, just as points of reference. As we're looking at here, you're going to need these keys, and these are the keys that I personally run every time I come through here. We got from, I don't want to say necessarily importance, but the big ones and how I would personally prioritize these as you're picking them up is West Wing 301. This would be the first key I would try to target if you're going to try to purchase a key, just because it's going to give you a little bit of everything. You're going to have GPUs that can spawn in there. You get LEDXs that spawn in there, defibs that can spawn in there. You can get ortholmoscopes that can spawn in there. Fantastic key, arguably one of the best keys in my opinion in the game. I love the juice that comes out of there. It can make you pretty rich. And then I would follow it up with the 226 key in East Wing, or 222 in this case. Both of these keys go to the same room. So 222, 226 go to the same rooms because they are connected by a balcony. So this guy right here, fantastic room. Again, I like it because you get GPUs that can spawn in there, and you can get LEDXs that spawn in there, or ortholmoscopes that spawn in there. It's just a fantastic key. Tetrises spawn in there. A lot of good juice. And then after that, you can kind of go into kind of whatever you deem necessary. I would personally prioritize like an East 310 for the Lions, 328, East 328 for the Lions, or if you don't have the East 328 key, you can also do the utility room key right here as shown. They're linked by a balcony. This is probably the cheaper way to go of the two. So get that. There's lines that spawn inside of that room. And then in the west wing side, 205 is a good key to pick up just because you got a red key card spawn next to the bed inside of West 205. I would follow that up with maybe either a 220 or 216. 216 has ammo that can spawn on boxes, and in the current state of Tarkov, ammo is a big deal. That's just a way early on to get good ammo in the game, as well as, like I said, GPUs that can spawn in there. Inside of 220, you got a box in there that can spawn lions, gold chains, bitcoins, that kind of thing in there, as well as it's got decent medical spawns that happen as soon as you come through the door to the left on the top of the box. Good for golden star, things like that, early wipe, which is just a good thing. The rest of these keys, there are keys that spawn, are like labs keys that can spawn in some of these rooms. The rest of these keys are kind of just average at best. Sanitar, this used to be a fantastic key. back in the day. I just don't seem to find Lennoxes out of this room anymore. So it kind of takes a little bit of a hit, and I think it's value. Not a horrible key. You still get Propadol. You'll still get painkillers, things like that that come out of there pretty regularly. It's not a big money maker anymore. So you could skip that key if you want, and you'll be good to go. So outside of that, let's actually get into the raid itself and show you guys around and show you where these rooms are and what spawns inside of them. See you in there. Okay, everybody. As we're looking at the Shoreline map here, the first thing I want to do is I want to touch over spawn locations and the pathing to get to the resort. It can be a little tricky for those that are not familiar with the map, or even modestly familiar with the map. But there's some optimal ways to go about it. So what we got here, we got our very first spawn here. We're going to call this guy down here. All right. So I circled it already. I decided I was going to circle these as we go here rather than do it ahead of time. But you got the first spawn down here. I call this pier spawn because you got pier right here as close on the east wing side. I consider this the worst spawn on Shoreline when regards to doing the resort run. It's so far away, it takes a lot of time to get there, and typically you get the guys that spawn up here or over here that can beat you to the resort. And one of the hardest things to do is to fight into the east wing, because it's so easy if you're the first one in east wing to just sit there for 2 or 3 minutes waiting and listening for people to come up, and then engage them while they're out here unprotected while you got the cover of, the building itself. So I consider it for that very reason to be one of the worst spawns, or the worst spawn on this route. So my pathing when I do get this spawn though, is I come in from here, because you spawn in here, you can come up. I circle around this is the weather station hill here. So I circle around weather station, and I kick up this direction. Oh, let me delete that real quick. Let's go like this, because I don't really cut that way. I got to pay more attention to how I'm moving my marker here. So I come up like this, and there's actually a little ravine that cuts through right here, and then I kick up into here, and I go in right there, or I come in and I go through a window right there. One way or the other. Depends on if I SJ6. If I SJ6, I might push to this side right here through the main entrance. If I don't SJ6 going up there, I'll just run straight past the ambulance that's right here and then go through the window in the hallway and then clear this direction going through. That's probably the safer way. I've been killed a whole lot less doing it this route than I have been going this way to east. So that's the first spawn. The second spawn is going to put you down right, I want to say it's like right next to this cache. It's going to be like right in here somewhere, which might be actually that little marker right there. But you get this spawn right here. Not a great spawn, not a horrible spawn. Again, you're not going to be the first one there if other people are choosing to go to the resort, but I mean, it is what it is. You just have to work with it when it comes to the east wing side. When I get this spawn, what I do is I actually come back up this way. I start circling towards the wall, and then as you're coming up through here, you typically don't have to worry about it, but you're wanting to watch up in this direction right here, just because this guy that spawns right up here, we're going to draw the circle up here for this spawn. You got a spawn that's up here. This guy up here doesn't always come to the resort. He sometimes is working Shooterborn, or he's just not wanting to hit caches that are numbered right here. So what he'll do is he'll actually push down right here, and you guys meet by the time you see each other. It's usually somewhere right around in here, in this range right here. So just be cognizant that this guy might not necessarily go to the resort. He might not necessarily go this direction, towards the west side of the map. He might actually circle back down here because of the number of caches that are over here. So just something to be aware of. But what I do is I come up, I circle in, and I'll go up. There's a little rock jump up right here. So you jump up the rocks, feed up, and then depending on how long it takes you to get to this point right here, I go one of two ways. I'll either come, if I haven't heard any grenades or I haven't heard any gunfire or something like that, I'll come down here, I'll go through the breach, and then I'll listen this here to see if there's any footsteps, something like that. If I'm not hearing anything after a minute or so, what I'll do is I'll actually push east and then come in right here into the building. And if I do hear something, what I'll do is I'll actually push back out and I'll come back this way. We'll circle the compound, run along the back fence right here, come in the back side to the admin building and enter the admin building right there. What I'm doing is I'll loot admin real quick, hit up, red key card spawn, that kind of stuff real quick. And then what I'll do when I'm going to east, I'll actually come out the front doors to east. I'll shoot this window out right here as I run up onto it, and I'll just jump in, and then I clear in east wing going that way. That's how I handle that particular spawn. This spawn is right up here. This is near the road to customs extract. This spawn right here, kind of the same route. I do the same exact thing as you come in. I follow the same pathing. I do the same exact thing. I come up to here, and then I'm listening, trying to hear if I hear anybody running around in there, if I'm hearing any nades, anything like that, and then I push in. There is, however, a spawn that happens up here in this region somewhere that you'll get every now and again. This is a fantastic spawn in the fact that it's very competitive with this spawn and the fact that you get there really quick. So when I get this spawn, I just beeline it straight for the resort. However, as I follow the same path and I go up the same rock path, instead of going right here, which could lead into this guy, I usually button hook down and around, this way, and I come along the east building and go in this way, and then we tend to meet right in here. Again, you can handle the clearing out of inside the building when you do it. It's just a matter of that's how I path to get there from this side of the map. And then this spawn, it's pretty easy. You just come kick around the side of the mountains right here, up into the courtyard, and then you go straight into east from the spawn right here. I mean, not spawn, but this doorway right there. Fastest, that's the best, that's the god spawn for resort runs. This is the spawn you always want to get you there really quick, especially if you SJ6. I don't know, I'd say either of those spawns are pretty awesome. They both are equally as good, so you want one of these two spawns when you spawn in. When it comes to the west wing side now, there's actually quite a big range that is over here. So you got spawns that are right around in this region right here. You'll have a spawn that's right over in this region right here. Then you can sometimes spawn back in here, as well as like, this one might not be the case. I can't remember if there was one right there or not. There's also another one that's actually like somewhere right around in here. But needless to say, you can spawn on rare occasions inside the little village right here. At which point you just kind of gotta jump over stuff, run around things, and then cut through. And then obviously you got a tunnel spawn that is down here, so you can spawn down here near tunnel. I'm gonna go down here to tunnel because this is the second worst spawn of the map. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's not as bad as this spawn in the fact that you get less contested west wing runs than you do east wing runs right off the start. So you're more likely to get, west wing, kind of to yourself, or get up there without having to fight your way into the resort. As well as when it comes to fighting your way into the resort, I rarely get shot up as I'm pushing up to it from west wing. Very, very rarely. Usually, I'd say about 90% of the time I can get into west wing without ever receiving a round getting up into it. But the way I get there from this spawn is when you kick in, I come up here. You can hit this cache if you want. I don't personally do it very often, but you keep coming up and around. Circle in front of the cottages, because this is the marked cottage where Sanitar can spawn. Oh, I'm sorry, right here is the marked cottage where Sanitar can spawn. And right at this little junction here, I almost went the wrong way. What I do is I cut right here up this little valley, and I stick really close to this wall because there's a little dip that comes in here, because you get spawns up here that these guys could come up and SJ6 to get up in here to try to quickly get a shot off on whoever's rolling up here for the tunnel extract, whoever's rolling up here to the west wing. So I keep down on this low ground, and what I do is after I cook that, I kick right and I kick up like this and circle around the bus stop, up the rocks, and into the resort in that fashion right there. You can kind of cut this off to be more like that if you like as well. You don't have to go this far out. That's probably more realistically how I do it more often than not, but anything in that nature right there will give you an idea of how I path up into there. And then when you get this spawn that's over here in the village, come out of the village like so. What I do is I come up here behind here, then I kick this direction because you got all these hills and all these rocks, or all these trees and everything that are back up in here, and I use this to kind of cut around. And then there's a big hill that's right here next to this cache. I kind of just stay right at the base of that hill as I'm walking around and go straight up into the resort in that direction right there. This spawn I do somewhat similar. I come down through here. You got the swamp that runs straight through the middle here. You come up here, you can actually kick around. There's a little path. I'm not sure exactly where out on the map it is that is dry, that you can come up and you can kick over and then run up to the resort the same as you would this one. This one's kind of hard to explain. Hopefully we get it in the video so I can explain from this one. It's a pretty quick path. It's straight up the gut. You run right past, there's a little house right here. Run straight past that house. I think this is the path right there that you see, but it basically just runs straight up to West Wing. And this one you circle around. So this one you come up, I kick down and then come up this way and through into the West Wing. So that is the spawn locations that you're going to get and how I personally path to the resort. A couple of additional notes and little tips that I'd give is when you're getting this spawn right here, or even one of these two spawns, you've got to be very cognizant of players that like to fight early game. You know, in this region, there's technically another spawn now that I'm thinking about it, right here next to the arch. So these are people that you got to really worry about on pathing through the area here. It's a very contested early part of the map if people do not go actively to the resort. So just know the spawn locations and keep your eye out as you're going on there. Just be cautious. With that, we're going to jump into the next portion of the video. What we're going to do is we're going to go in and I'm actually going to show you a offline raid and where the rooms are, the keys, what spawns in the rooms, and where at the spawns are in those rooms. Let's get into it. For the sake of education in this video, I'm going to race over here to this other spawn location just to show you how to get to the resort through the swamp. I see a lot of people that run around the swamp when you don't need to. It takes a lot of extra time. You can make it much quicker than running all the way up and around this, by this spawn right here where we're at right now. But to get there from here, all you got to do is basically run in that direction. You got swamp that's right here. Follow the swamp around, go straight up to the resort, as shown in the outline that we did from the top-down view map. All right, so I'm gonna come up here. So you can spawn anywhere, like right in this region right here. As you look at, you got a house right here, very undervalued house, by the way, to loot. There's a lot of good stuff in that house. But you got the swamp and the broken down village, sunken village, right here to the left. So what you do is when you get this spawn, you can just run right up. So this whole spot right here in the middle is dry land. You will not hit any swamp or anything like that. So you can just kick it right through here. I don't know why I've seen lots of videos of other people playing the game and they go around to the left and towards the direction that we spawned before, when this is just clearly a faster route to the resort. But just kind of kite around all the trees here. Now right here, that spawn that we spawned in on to start the map over there, that guy could circle back around this way, and if he does, you might run into him right up here. He'll be coming up along this little valley and ridge right there. So just something to be watching out for. I've never ran into anybody right here from my right, like never, so the risk is pretty minimal. But this guy that spawns to your left, he's your man of concern. on this particular spawn location. So as we're running right up through here now we got to start worrying about the guys to the right, everything, because if they SJ6'd and you haven't, you could potentially run into them right here. I've gotten into a couple firefights right here with guys as they're trying to run up, but it's not very often. It's not super often. Just one of those things that you put it in the back of your mind. Just know that that is a potential threat, and just keep pushing to the resort, because most of the time you're not gonna have to worry about it. All right, so here we are. This is West Wing. Just so you know, this is the back of the resort right here. So this is the back of West Wing. You got admin building that's right there. You got the little gazebo and the tennis courts. Tennis courts are right over there. And if we look at the front for a little situational awareness, you got the helicopter that's right there. And you got another entrance to the West Wing right next to that big truck. We come in here. Now, when I come in, immediately I look left and I look on top of the racks here. I haven't ran the resort a whole lot this wipe, so I still haven't seen any green bats if they spawn here. Last wipe, green bats spawned all over the racks here before, so that is something to take a peek at. But you can get some pretty decent money off that rack from time to time, so it's worth taking a peek. So the first thing I do is I come up the stairs here, and I'm just looking, just do a little couple jiggle peeks or a lean peek, however you want to do it. Just trying to see if anybody beat you up here. If you're not hearing anything, what I typically do is I actually run past all of the second floor juice here. Jump the barrier. Because most kids, when they come here, they're going to push to room 301, which is one of the best rooms in all of Tarkov, in my opinion. There's a lot of stuff that spawns in here. So as you're coming down the end of the hallway here, right here, you got room 301 on the west wing. So this is West 301. Unlock the door, and inside this room right here, on top of these water containers here, you'll have lead X's, all kinds of stuff. Just I can't recall if GPUs spawn on the top of that. They could, but they can spawn down here, so you can get lead X's and GPUs down here. If you come around the corner right here, you got a fire still, you get another elite spawn right here. You get lead X's there. An elite spawn on the chair right there. You got 2 computers to loot. You got 1 computer there, 1 computer here. Elite spawns can be up here. More lead X's there. Orthalmoscopes, lead X's here. You got another elite spawn right here. GPUs, lead X's can spawn right there. I believe this random med spawn that's right here, as well as a elite spawn right here where this GP coin is. Got another random med spawn that I believe is somewhere right in this region right there. And then you get more, get more med spawns that are right here on the bed, so take a peek at all that. Once you get 301 looted, come out around the corner. You got 306 right here, West 306. You can hit this if you want. It's a quest room. You'll eventually get a quest where you got to get a deal off the windowsill right there. But you can get lead X's in here. It's just rare. I found a lead X right here on the floor at one point. You get stems on the bed, things like that. So it doesn't hurt to take a peek in here. But if you're really hurting food and drink, it's also a good place for food and drink. You find on the floor right here, as well as on the top of the table. You got 2 bodies to search right there, and then a med box. So if you don't have a bunch of stuff on you and then you're hitting this on your way out, like you're hitting West 2nd, that's a good place to touch on. So after I hit West 301, what I was, I actually come down here real quick, and then I hit the red key card spawn in the weight room. So in the gym, inside the wall locker here, just take a peek. There's red key card spawns that are in there. If you want to take the time to do it, I personally wouldn't do this just because you tend to get tons of stuff. But let's say you're running with 3 or 4 people, it helps to get everything you can get out of a raid when there's that many of you. You got a duffel bag here. You got another duffel bag right there. You got another duffel bag right here. You got 2 boxes right there. And then you can get random stuff that spawns on these boxes back here that you can hit up. Come in around the corner. There's a duffel bag there. Got another duffel bag there. And after that, I would be done down here. Now what I do is I actually go all the way up to the 3rd floor again. I run past this stairwell right here to the hole in the ground. So you got the hole in the floor right here on the 3rd floor. Again, this is West Wing. You come into this room. Let's actually pull out the old flashlight here. So 311. You come in here. Let's do that as well. So you come in here. Right here is an elite spawn. You get all kinds of stuff there. I've seen so much stuff spawn there. And then right here, you Bitcoins, LEDXs, GPUs, like another big spawn right there. This tends to be more like streamer item-esque, I want to say. You get drills there from time to time. You can get, yeah, it's just a lot of good stuff here. You just don't pass up the room. And then obviously duffel bag right there. And then what I do is I come and I drop down. All right, guys, this is Olio back again. Mid-edit form. As I was editing, I realized that we missed a very important room in the run. That is West Wing 205. So here we are. We're gonna run it back. I'm gonna edit this into the middle of the video so you can see it, because it is, like I said, very important. So to get caught up here real quick, this is 311. We already looted the inside of 311 right there. All right, so what you do is when you drop down into here, before I backed up and we ran and we jumped over and I went through the 2nd floor there. Before you do that, the first thing you should do is you should actually turn around and run back this direction. Again, keep an eye down this hallway here. Left peeking is not a great idea. You're just looking to see if anybody's down there at the 205 room on the East Wing side, but you're looking for this guy right here, West Wing 205. This room is very important because it has got a red key card spawn on here, as well as it has the opportunity to spawn LEDXs. I don't know why I chose to miss this room, but you know, that's all right. We're fixing it here now. So top of the table, random meds, chair meds, floor meds, got random meds and stuff that can spawn up here, food, drink, that kind of thing. I'm not sure if there's a Bitcoin that can spawn on this bed, but I check it out anyway. Meds that can spawn right here. You got meds right here, and then you got GPUs can spawn right here on the floor. So make sure you take a peek at that. Got a weapon box right here. Right here is the big reason why we come in here, is in that newspaper is a red key card spawn. You can find meds that are on the top of this little bookshelf there. And then on top of this table, right next to the chairs, you can get random meds sitting in here as well. You got a med bag and a duffel bag. You get AKs that spawn in that rack. So that is this room. I apologize that we missed it, but we've got it done, and we're ready to continue the raid from right here where we left off in the last one. All right, you guys, thanks for your understanding, and we'll see you in the next portion of the video. Down, we're in second floor now. As you come around, anytime you're jumping over here, just be cautious. There's dudes that will camp this little spot right here, so don't be afraid to like jiggle peek this little corner right here. By 214, people will sit there and listen for you to hit that barbed wire as you jump over, or hear you jump, and then they know exactly where you're at, and they'll just wait to pre-fire you as you come around the corner. So just be ready to shoot instantly as you come around this corner. 216 right here is a fantastic room. Get GPUs that spawn in here, so you can get GPUs that spawn on the floor there, top of the box, and as well as right here, right next to the chair. As you can tell, there's an M4 spawn right there. You got a moonshine spawn that's on the top of this, as well as a grenade box, and then ammo, random ammo can spawn on top of this box right here. Another grenade box with random meds that spawn right here, as well as on the top of this. It's a great place to get golden star. Then you got another tough box right there that you can open up. So this right here, 218, 221, and 222 are all linked. They're all one in the same room, so you can have any one of these keys and you can get to all three of these rooms. But this is a red key card room, so we'll come in here. First thing I do is I actually run past all of this into here, and I look on top of this blue barrel because right there is a red key card spawn. Then you come over here, you got ammo spawns that are on top of the box and on top of this box. You get random money that can spawn on here, euros and dollars. On top of this table right here is food and drink if you need it. You got a weapon box there. You got a couple wall lockers here, weapon lockers, if you choose to loot those. On top of this box right here, all across the top of that is random med spawns, as well as on the top of this is a random med spawn as well with another box. Top box right here. Come around the corner. Got a med bag and a duffel bag right there. Once I've looted those, I'll come out and I hit this guy right here at 220. Once you hit 220, come across the top of this box right here, all random med spawns along the top of this. You got a box right there. A box right there with random dollars and euros that can spawn right next to this little green jacket there. You got a tough box here. And then you got another elite spawn. So you get lots of gold necklaces, lions, cat statues, GP coins, all that stuff spawns right here, as well as right here at the top corner of the table. You can loot this room right here, 219. I don't think I got the key to it. No, I don't. You can loot it, but basically inside of there, you got ammo spawns around barrels in the back there. And you'll have, actually, I think we could take a peek at it from this side because it's a quest room later on. So right here, you got you got meds that can spawn right here. You can see the meds that spawn on top of that box. You got ammo that will spawn around these barrels right here. I'm not seeing any right now, but ammo spawns on these barrels. And then you find dollars, euros, things like that that spawn on the back table back there. Once you've gotten that, there is a safe up here. I don't personally hit it, so I just want to acknowledge that I understand that it's there. I just don't go for it because it's not necessary. I try to get through here as fast as possible, and that slows me down. At 112, another good room. I believe it's a blue key card that spawns on here. Blue key card spawns right there next to the TV. Food and drink can spawn on top of the table here, up to and including sugar. And then you got 2 duffel bags in this room. And we come back down here to room 104. And we'll come into room 104. Right here, you got another key card spawn right at the end of the table right there. And then you have other like dollars, things like that can spawn inside of the books here. So take a peek inside of the books. Up here, I've gotten GPUs right there before. It's a tech spawn. And then you got med spawns on the other 3 sections of this shelf right there. Also, you got med spawns there right here as well. Once you've looted all of that, I come back in here. One place that I don't pass up because it's very overlooked is in this room right here. All kinds of useful stuff in here, like right there, the Mahjong. Yeah, military scissors. Just look at all these shack pox ramps. I mean, that's like 20k right there. Another 24k right there. That's another 20k. Like there's 60k just in stuff sitting in this room right here, and it surprises me how frequently people pass that stuff up right there. What I do is I run out here to admin next. I personally look left, right. I jump past that, and what I'm doing is I'm just looking down the hallway right here, seeing if anybody's holding the corners right there as I come in. Run down the stairs to the left, and on top of the shelf, either right there or right where that cord is, you can get potential LEDX spawns. Once you've searched those, come up the deal here. So another like little tip that how I personally clear this area, as I come up and I'm actually jiggle peeking, I'm looking left first. I actually clear this corner first over this, just because this tree and the couch actually block your line of sight from the back side here decently. So if you just do a little quick jiggle peek, you can see if somebody's there and you're sheltered from the guy that's on this side. Whereas if you go this way and the dude's right there, you're just kind of hung dry, head exposed. So you come up and go to the left. We're going to first come in here. We're going to check another red key card spawn. So the red key card can spawn right under the ashtray there. Hide overboard, kind of messed my shot up there, but check under that ashtray. You'll see the white of the card hanging out. That is a red key card. You got a computer here, random, hardware stuff spawns on those racks. right here. I have found GPUs last wipe right here, as well as right here. I haven't really ran it enough to be definitive if they still spawn right there. I know that they spawn right there, as well as I know that they spawn right there. Come into here again, GPU spawn here, can spawn down here. I've never seen one here, so I'm not sure if what GPU can spawn there, but I found lots of different computer stuff right here. So maybe potentially you got a safe. I don't have the key for it. Right there, you got a computer. You come in here, and you get random stuff that spawns on the tables here. Good place to check. Another computer down here, as well as there is a key that spawns right here. Can't remember which key it is. And then you got random hardware and I don't know, you want to call it tech supplies or whatever, that spawn right here. Come in here, more computers. You got a computer there, a computer right there, a computer right here. Food can spawn on that. A computer right here, a tough box there, another computer, as well as more random loose loot spawns right there. You can come in here, got a duffel bag if there's a lot of you guys to loot. If you look on the chairs right here, you can randomly get sugar and other things that spawn around in here. You got another key card or key spawn right here. We come in through here. There's another key spawn for the resort right there. You got ammo that spawns on the top of this table, and a box to loot right there. Now, early in the raid, this is kind of risky because, like I said, 301 is that room right there. So those two windows are your 301 room, and it's one of the most trafficked rooms in the resort. And if somebody hears you running around over here, they're going to be looking at you from over there, and they'll take your head off. So it's very risky to loot that little box right there. I almost never do it. And then right inside these wall lockers, you can get a bunch of other stuff. I found lots of ratchets and stuff in there. Take a peek at those every time you run by. Now, what I like to do after this is I usually run up. I actually shoot through that window right there. And then I'll run over here real quick. And I'm looking for a blue key card that can spawn right there. And then I come over here because I have found Lennox's right here or down here on the floor before. So take a peek at the back of that. And then what I do is I actually come back this way. I jump through my window and go. Now, just a quick disclaimer. Understand, if you hear a ton of gunfire coming from the east wing and you're looting west, then you know that maybe shooting through the window there, unless you're supremely confident in your PvP skills, isn't necessarily the best idea because you lose the edge, the edge of surprise that you might have if you don't do that. So you're just gonna have to take your best. You might have to audible things on your run to fit, the situation in the raid. This is something I do almost every time. I almost always run from when I go to either wing. So if I spawn over here or if I spawn over there, I always go through these windows right here. So I'll come out the front and I'll use like a 45-degree angle to come at this. Just because I have to clear less angle. Like, for whatever reason, I've gotten laser going down these hallways far more frequently than I have by actually cutting the angle coming out the main door. Coming like this. Like coming from there, or doing the same thing, going from there into that window, going into west. I don't know why it is. It's just the angles that people choose to hold. I get away with it a whole lot more frequently, but I'm also not necessarily afraid to get into a PvP fight. So if you're a little bit more cautious and not confident in your PvP skills, at least not without having surprise on your side, you're definitely going to want to just be quiet and then just slowly walk your way up the land bridge. To be more tactical about your approach. So the way I come into east, the first thing I do is I come up here to the second floor, go past this table right here, and to the right. Inside this room right here, you got LEDXs and GPUs, more green batteries, lots of good stuff spawns on this table. Lots of good stuff spawns on this box right here. Again, LEDXs and GPUs. Make sure you guys check out all three of those locations right there. It's an unlocked room, which is fantastic. If you need the number, it's 219. So as we come into 218 right here, got a duffel bag and a red key card spawn that is right here in the blood splatter. Also, box there if you'd like to loot it. After you looted both those rooms, I come down here to 222 or 226. Right there, I have the 222 key. This is another really good room. Come in here. On top of these tables, you can find Tetrises and GPUs that can spawn on the top of this guy right here. Inside this box, it's sad they nerfed this box. I have not found a whole lot in here, but I'm guessing you can still find Bitcoins that can spawn in there, because I found lots of GP coins in there. But just something to take a peek at. It doesn't take much time as you're going through here. So you got a grenade box. You got another tough box right there to loot. You got a med spawn here, a tech spawn back behind it. You got random spawn right here, med. I can't remember if there's tech or not on there. I believe it's just med. And then you got a tech spawn down here where you can get GPUs again. Come over here, look at that. See, LEDX spawn right there. And then you got a... I can't remember what the spawn is here. Check this spot right there. You can get another spawn right there. I can't remember if it's a LEDX spawn or not. I'm not sure. You get money that can spawn right here on this corner of the carpet right there. You got more meds that can spawn right there. More meds that can spawn right here up to and including a LEDX. And then inside this wall locker right here can be a LEDX on one of those 3 shelves right there, as well as other random meds as you can see. And then right in here, food, drink, meds, and a shotgun that can spawn on the back wall right there. Once you've looted that, I come up to 328, which is above here. So now you can use the 328 East key, or you can use the storage room key and show you guys right. So it's the Health Resort Universal Utility Room key. Just so you guys know, this actually opens multiple rooms. Opens the same rooms basically on the west wing side. Just so you know, when you come up the stairs, it'll technically be the rooms over there when it's on the west wing side. But as you come in, right here, there's a lion spawn, cat spawn, gold necklaces, things like that spawn on the top of this table. Every now and again, if you're looking and you're getting a white dot, but you can't see it on the table, it's because you get lions. For whatever reason, they can sometimes fall back down into here, and you have to pick them up behind the table there. So you got another elite spawn here, elite spawn there. I found graphics cards in both places. Computer right here, random attachments and stuff that are up here, right here. And on the bed, usually from right there to right there, you can find night vision, the GP NVGs that spawn on the corner of the bed. Keep an eye out for those. All right. You can come in here if you like. Depending on how full I am, sometimes I skip these next couple rooms just because I'm already full and no need to waste slots on keyring. But if you look around the mark circle here, you can find Bitcoins that can spawn in here. Just walk around and then you can loot Mr. Pigman here. You can loot him, just a dead body. As you come down, another room you can hit. Oh, that startled the piss out of me. I was not expecting that. But you got 316 right here. Got more attachments and ammo that spawn up here. Some can be on the floor right around it. More attachments up here, attachments here. I haven't examined something. Holy cow. Crazy. I've heard rumors and stories that there's a LEDX spawn on the top of this box. I have personally never ever seen anything spawn on the top of that box. So it's kind of one of those things to take it with a grain of salt. There's a med bag out here on the balcony, a tough box there, and then come down over here. You can unlock this room. Sorry, I believe we showed it, but that's 316. Then you come down here to 314 or 313. Either one of these keys will work. Open this bad boy up. On top of this table right here, you'll find random attachments. Under the table in the newspapers right in here, you'll find random attachments. You got food and drink that can spawn in there. A tough box here. More random stuff attachment wise can spawn right there. And you'll find like tools and stuff that'll spawn inside this wall locker right there. So as you come in, you got a med bag here. You'll find LEDXs on the floor right in front of this. Or LEDX can spawn on the top of those boxes right there. And you got another tough box right there. There's I believe a weapon spawn that can spawn on the top of this box right here, but I can't recall what it is. It doesn't happen very often at all. I think I found one. Got a tough box here to loot. As you come in, we're looking at 310 right here. This is East 310. Open up the room. So, sorry, I got an itch. Got a spot right here. Got a spot on the chair. And obviously where the Raven statue is. Same thing on here. Got spots that can spawn really any kind of gold spawn. Bitcoins, lions, cats, horses, gold chains, all that stuff spawns on these tables. So take a peek. You got a duff bag there, a duff bag there. Got a box right there. Pick up over the top. So you got 306. I do have 306. You can use 306 or you can come over here to 308. Either one of these keys will work. I do have 306. So we'll open this guy up. You got 4 computers right here that you can loot, as well as you can get our random USD spawns along the top shelf of it. You got right here, you can get gold chains, stuff like that spawns inside this. You can find bitcoins, which might actually be there right now. Let's see if we can find it. I don't want to spend too much time. It's been a while since I've gotten anything to spawn on here. Anyway, I could spend all day trying to find that. Bitcoins, they tend to be easier to find actually in raid than it is in the offline, but bitcoins can spawn on the bed there. That might be what that little white dot is. You got a tough box here. Yeah, you got the quest box right there. Come in around the corner, look inside the magazines right there. You can usually find propedals, things like that inside there. More random meds that spawn on the top of the table right here. You got a med box, and then random food and drink that can spawn here, like sugar. All right, after you've looted that, come out here. Got more hardware stuff that can spawn on these racks. More hardware that can spawn on those racks. Come down to the second floor. Right here, you got key spawns. Key spawn there. It could be on the floor there as well. Oh, I don't have that one. Come over here. So you got 206 and you got 205. We'll enter 206 here. You got a box here. You got random meds that could be up here. They can fall down on the floor. They could be in between here, as well as on the top of this box. Another box there. Another box there. And a gold spawn here. You can find bitcoins. Let me try to get height overboard squared away here. They can spawn in that comb right there. So if you have a hard time seeing when you're in a raid, something there, it's actually in that comb. You get GP coins and bitcoins that spawn in that thing. It makes kind of a pain in the butt to get a hold of. If you come around the corner here, you got another good spawn right here. You find lions and stuff inside this. You got food and drink inside of here. You got a duffel bag and a med bag, and that's basically this room. So you can come out this direction as well and come into here. It's another area that I almost never see looted. If there's lots of you guys, it doesn't hurt to hit. Med spawn on the floor right here, so you can get all kinds of stuff anywhere around on the floor there. As we come in here, I don't think I've ever seen anything on the bed. I always check it though. You get meds that spawn on top of this table. You got a big box there, tough box right there, and a med bag to hit those up. All right, then we come downstairs. If you want, you got another med bag right there that you, or not med bag, but duffel bag that you hit right there. You got Sanitar's room, and the reason why this is kind of last is I like to hear other people unlocking things in this room. Honestly, you can get LEDXs that spawn in here, but I haven't found a single LEDX out of here this wipe. I'm lying. I found one LEDX here this wipe, and it was actually on this little rack right here. And that was pretty early on. I've not found another thing that is of major value out of here yet since. But you got meds right here, as you can see. Come in here, med spawn, med spawn, a med spawn, med spawn, med spawn. So every one of these spawns I just pointed out in this room can spawn a LEDX, at least in theory. Right here you can get bitcoins that spawn in this couch. You can get lions and stuff that spawn inside of that locker right there. Right here you can get LEDXs over here. I want to say you can get a LEDX on the top of this table right here. I also believe that there might be a GPU spawn, a tech spawn right here. I could be wrong. Again, if you'll see as you go through if it is there. And then more meds that can spawn in the carpet around the little zebra print floor mat here, and then another computer. Come out and to the right. Right here's 307 or 107 rather. Come in here. And then we got a med box with a I want to say GPUs can spawn here. I could be wrong on that, but you got text pot or text spawns right there. You got more meds that spawn inside of here. Come around the corner, you got a med bag, a duffel bag, more hardware stuff that spawns on here, and then you get euros and stuff that spawn inside that little locker there. At this point, I've gotten enough, especially if you're solo. At this point, you probably got way more than what you need coming through here. When I'm done with the east wing side, what I do is actually come out. And I come into this building right here. All right. So you got a duffel bag there. What I'm looking for here is water filters. You can get water filters that spawn right all over through here on the floor openly right here. Find them over here as well on the shelves, as well as you can get nuts and bolts that can spawn on these shelves right in here. I look at the tops of those shelves, and then you got 2 jackets to loot right there. I've never seen anything on the desk here or on that, so I've kind of stopped looking. And then I come out here. If you have any extra space, I do it for the search XP at this point, but you got a cache right here. I'm just going to show you my way out to the road to customs extract, because that's the way I always come out when I come out on this side of the map. So while I'm early on and I am focusing on search XP, what I do is I actually come down here. I'm going to hit these caches up as I go. Like this. Let's pop another SJ6. What's funny? It's sad. We like got elite strength, but we're 31 in endurance. It's so hard to level up your endurance when you're always overweight. Makes these guide views take a little bit more time. Alright, so as we get here, we got another cache right here that we hit. And again, I'm doing this for the search XP, or let's say you go through the resort and you don't have like elite level stuff, you didn't find anything really good, kind of push that money total up. It really doesn't hurt to check any of these caches on your way out. You never know what you can find out of these guys. You might be able to pull out a slick or something like that as well. Got a cache right here. Then what I do, I will actually come up over the hill. Now, the side to that is while I still hit these caches up, I will skip this one if I've actually got a bunch of money on me on my way out of the resort. Because this is this one's a little bit out of the way. It's not necessary. But it's right here. You hit this cache up. Then what I do is I actually circle back here. Got this little finger that comes down the side of the hill. You just kind of follow it down. You see this big bush next to this tree out in front of us here. There's a cache in the side of it as well. Right here. Once I've looted that, then I go for the extract. And again, that helps you level up your search skill, your attention, as well as it gives you another opportunity to find, better loot. Caches are kind of ridiculous when it comes to the amount of money you can make in those things. So, they're pretty low risk at this point, so it doesn't hurt to take a little bit out. And then I extract right there. Now with that is the run. That is the resort and how I personally run it. I understand there might be things in there that I skipped or missed, or I just maybe don't even know about. Because like I said, I haven't ran the resort a whole lot this wipe, so there might be new spawn locations in there that I am not tracking. However, based on what I've done there, I've ran it enough to know that you'll get completely juiced coming through there. Just doing what I showed you. It works really well. Just know that going through the resort is not an easy thing. You get a lot of sweaty dudes that are going to be in there, and typically, multiples. So if you run during the day, the number of times I run into 3 and 4 man teams in there is pretty. It's pretty frequent. I mean, I run to a 3-man minimum team at least 1 in every 3 raids that I go through the resort when I do it during the day. Night, you tend to run into 1 and 2 man teams. So if I'm not looking to be super sweaty, or I'm not looking for like a good video or something like that, then I'll run a night raid just to try to make money. I don't want to get in too many firefights, so keep that in mind. When you run at night, you also got the fear of cultists. They're not too big of a deal. Just make sure you're near a door. So if you pop a shot at one, run back to a door, close the door, and make them funnel to you through the door, at which point you can shoot them through the door and lay them out that way. Makes fighting the cultists exponentially easier. Outside of that, I can't think of anything else that we need to feed you guys here. As far as the run, we've gone over the map on how the spawns go, the routes to the resort, gone through the rooms in the resort, and with that, we're gonna call the video here. I appreciate you guys taking the time and effort to make it to this point in the video. If you liked it or it helps you out in any way, please do throw a sub, a like, and a comment to help with those YouTube algorithms here. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's keep this channel growing, and we'll see you guys in the next raid. Have a good day, afternoon, evening.